Hello, how are we? I hope we've had a wonderful day. So if you've been on Twitter, you've seen that I have done, I've sort of put a shout out about a week or so ago about having some Q&A sessions again. And it's been absolutely fantastic this time. I've had such an amazing response and I can't thank you all enough. So I thought I'll sit down. I mean, I was going to do this out in the course, but it started getting a bit chilly. So I thought, no, I'm going to come in, get a cuppa, and go through some of your lovely questions. So I've taken screenshots of them all so I don't lose where I am. So let's, without further ado, get on with it. So first up is Robbie Peverley. Hi Robbie, how you doing? So his question was, it was a bit of a weird one actually. I didn't know what he put a princess icon and a lion question mark. So I was like, I don't know what you mean. And it was basically Beauty and the Beast. So I kind of got to the grips of it. It was asking, is a Beauty and the Beast going ahead? Yes, it is, and I'll come back to that soon, and you'll see why shortly. But yes, it is coming back. So we've also got Keith Harris. Sorry, the light's on the camera, and it's making my eyes go all squiffy and dotty. So can't really read what the questions are, but I'll do my best. So, Keith Harris, who I am playing with next week up at my gaff Crook Hill, so I can't wait to meet him there. Golf is a wonderful game, meeting people, achieving goals. It's fun to compete with others, but really it's about competing against yourself and the course. It can be frustrating at times, so when is it for you? Do you feel you cope well or not? I would say now I don't get frustrated. So for those of you that have not seen any previous vlogs, I've been playing for, it'll be 3 years in March. So because I'm still quite new to the sport, I'm still kind of learning. Now, when I first started, I used to get really frustrated. If I couldn't hit the shot, if I duffed it or whatever, I used to get really annoyed with myself. And obviously the more you get annoyed, the worse you get. And I couldn't get my head around that, so it was quite a mental battle with myself. Nowadays, I have learned to chill out a lot more and to take the good with the bad. And even if I say it's a par 4 and I end up with a 9, I will come off that. I used to come off that, really upset, really frustrated. In fact, at one point, I think over the first 4 holes, I got 9 shots on each hole, and I was ready to burst into tears. I was that upset. I don't do that anymore. So if I get 9 now on a par 4, I will come off the course and I'll say, right, okay, that was awful, but I might have had a good drive, or I might have 2-putted, or there might have been one of the clubs that I hit particularly well. I look more about what was good from the hole rather than, well, that was just a disaster, let's just go home now. So I have tried to change the mentality of how I look at the game and look at it hole by hole analysis rather than the game as a whole. Because you might have 4 pars, and you might have 5 triple bogeys. That's, it's going to kill your card if you're having a competition, but I will come off it thinking, I've got 4 pars there, I'm really pleased with that. And so I am all about taking the positives now. So I do think I cope really well, and it is purely because I just put each hole to bed, and I don't take the baggage over to the next hole with me, because as you know, as soon as you do that, you may as well just go pack up and go home. So I hope that's answered your question. You'll see next week anyway. Yorkie Bar, what handicap would you like to be by the end of this year? And am I staying with the same clubs this year? So I am currently a 28 handicapper, and I am hoping that by the end of this season I'm going to be in the teens. Now whether that's 19 or lower, I don't care. But my target, my aim is to get into a number that ends with a teen. And I think that's quite doable. I went from a 39 handicap at January last year to finishing on 28. So I dropped 11 shots in 1 year. Now I know it's not going to happen every year like that, but if I work hard and I try hard and I practice a lot, there's no reason why I can't achieve that. As can you. If you've got aspirations to drop your handicap, practice, practice, practice. That's what it's all about. And am I going to keep my same clubs this year? Yes, I am. However, if anyone wants to sponsor me for some new ones, feel free. I'm joking. No, so if you've seen any of my one of my previous vlogs on the hybrids, and I did also do it on the Trackman. So the 4 hybrid that I was using before was a Lady Flex, and I had a regular flex shaft 4 hybrid in the garage, which I hit, and I hit it better than the Lady Flex. So it does appear, both on the Trackman and out on the course, that a regular flex or even a senior flex will suit me better than the Lady Flex. However, I'm not in a financial position to be changing all my clubs at this moment in time. So I think the aim is to lower my handicap, get more consistent, and then look at getting some different clubs and look at a different, a less forgiving shaft, shall we say. So I hope that answers your question, your cuppa. Hopefully we'll be seeing you on Saturday as well. I think you mentioned about coming up to Crook Hill for a coffee after we finished our round, so it'd be great to see you there. It'd be great to meet you. Tour Pro Tom, what got me into golf? So, when I first started 3 years ago, Neil was on about going back to the driving range. So he used to play years and years and years ago before we even met. And he said he wanted to sort of get back into it, and he kept saying, I'm going to go to the driving range, I'll go to the driving range, and we were going to see if his son wanted to go to the driving range with him. And he never did, and he never got around. I think he was busy with his girlfriend and stuff like that, so their free time never kind of married up, so he never got round to going. And I said one day, do you know what, I'll come with you. And he gave me that look, but I'm sure you've all given your wives or husband at some point with that. Really? You're going to come with me? And I was like, yeah, how hard can it be? Now, I will just point out, up to this point, I hated golf. I thought it was the most boring, dull, pointless thing on earth. But, he puts himself through torture for things that I want to do. So I thought it's only fair that I, pay back. And I went to the driving range with him. Got there, hit a few clubs. I was quite surprised that I was hitting the ball, because I think I did pick up a club when I was about 12, and I could not hit the ball for love nor money. So I was quite happy that I could actually pick up a club and hit the ball. Now they weren't going very far, but they were going quite straight. And I think Neil at the time said, "How are you hitting it straight?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just hitting it and whacking it." So he kind of went from there really. He says, well, and I came off thinking I really enjoyed that. And he said, well, if you enjoyed it, we'll get some cheap clubs and we'll go up to Oaston, which is a 9-holer, and we'll just have a knock around there. So we did, and it just kind of I won't say stemmed, it proper spiralled out of control from there. The more I played, the more I just fell in love with it, and I was like, oh my God, where's this been all my life? And I'm sort of saddened that I didn't get into it earlier, but I'm glad that I've found it now. If that makes sense, because I just absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So it's Neil's fault I got into golf. So when Neil, you start moaning about me wanting to buy a load of golf stuff, it's your fault. Do I watch much golf? I do. I don't watch as much now. Probably the first 2 years I played, we used to watch quite a lot of tournaments on TV. I still watch the big ones now. I still watch like the Ryder Cup and the Masters, and on weekends where they're playing in America. I still do watch a lot of like the big names. I don't tend to watch a lot of European. To be fair, I'd rather go out and play at the minute. And obviously when the competitions are on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, Thursday, Friday during the day I'm at work, and I do catch up on the highlights at night. Saturday, Sunday I'd rather go out and play than watch it. So I do still watch it now and again, but not as much as I used to. I do still watch some of the ladies playing as well. I've seen them. We've been to see them at the Women's British Open twice. It's quite nice to see the ladies playing as well. Who's my golfing hero? Now I've been thinking about this one because it's quite a tough question for me. Purely because I'm still quite new to the sport, so I've not been playing long enough to kind of know the history behind the players. So I wouldn't say I've got any golfing heroes. However, I have got golfers that I do admire, and I'm quite warm to. So on the ladies, obviously there's Georgia Hall because she won the British Open. It's nice to see, the Women's British Open. It's nice to see a Brit winning that. So I admire her for doing that. And she kind of came not from nowhere, but almost from nowhere. She wasn't really anywhere up with the likes of Lexi Thompson and the Corner sisters and whatever, and Brooke Henderson. And Brooke Henderson, she's fantastic. She's got a cracking swing on her, and she's only short. How she eats the ball, I do not know. It's fantastic to watch her. But I do like Beef. I like Beef. He's such a laugh. I'd love to go and play a round of golf with Beef, because I think you would have such a scream. So that's one of my aspirations in life, to go and play a round of golf with Beef. I like Ian Poulter. Now, he comes across in the course as a little bit arrogant, but we watched a programme on Sky called Ferrity Talk. I think Ferrity Talks 2 or Ferrity something or other. And he did an interview with Ian Poulter. And do you know what? Since I watched that, I've really warmed to him. He's arrogant, but not in a bad way. It's a confidence thing that he's got. And he is just such a nice guy, such a down-to-earth guy. So I like him, and I like Tommy Fleetwood as well. I like the Brits. I mean, obviously there's the likes of Tiger, what do you think, because he plays amazing. But I wouldn't say I've got any heroes as such, but quite a few that I might. Jimenez. I like Jimenez as well, because he's just funny. He just makes me laugh. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? So anyway, Tom, I hope that answered your questions. Michael Brooks. Do you think golf clubs should light up with regards to female members? Now, I did respond to this saying, are we talking the clubs or members? And he said members who don't like change, period. Now, clubs, I think a lot of clubs, most of them that I've come in contact with, do want lady golfers. They want a lady section, but there's not a lot of ladies that are playing, certainly around here. So it's quite tricky and quite tough for the lady section to kind of get going and get a good base and a good following, so to speak. And I think to a degree that probably does spill over onto the other members, where because they're in a minority. Like at our club, there's about 160 or something male players and about 20 female. So because we're in the minority at our club, you are still going to get the gents who don't want to play with the ladies, even if they won't play a round with us. They won't play in the same four ball, but they won't even play a competition if the ladies are actually in the same competition. And it's petty and it's ridiculous. And you think, come on, get out, get into this 21st century or whatever it is. I don't even know what century I'm in now, but it's frustrating for me because I'm new to it, and I'm all about inclusivity, and everyone should be treated the same regardless of gender. So for these people that are out there to be like, well, it's the girl, blah, 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 I just want to I want to knock them out. Just say, have a word with yourself. So, and I do to a degree think that golf clubs should take a bit of ownership of this, and if they do get members where they're going to be very excluding towards the lady members, then the club should actually do something about it, because that's what's putting a lot of lady players off. If they're not being made to feel they're not being made to feel welcome, there's going to be less lady members within a club, and I think that's probably the root of the problem. So let's get rid of these Neanderthal types that don't like ladies playing in the clubs, and get with the programme, get with the times, people, come on. George Paul, what do you enjoy most in golf? At the minute, I'm really enjoying meeting new people, and I enjoy the banter between people. I'm less now about, obviously you are still competing against yourself, you're trying to get better, you're trying to improve your game, and I do enjoy that. When I get to the end of the season, like last year, and I can see I've dropped. Sometimes when you're going through the season, you think, I'm playing rubbish, and it's not going well, and it's this, that, and the other. But then when you look at, actually, like myself, I've dropped 11 handicap, 11 points in 1 year. Yeah, I might have had a point where I thought I was playing rubbish, but actually, overall, there's been a massive improvement over the season. So that's really good for me personally to see the improvement that I've made reflected in my scores. But I just enjoy playing with different people, because you get all sorts of characters on the course, and I think it is all about having a laugh and enjoying it. And I am one of these where if I go out and play with people, I am a bit, I think you know what that means. So I can be a bit in your face, but in a nice way. I'm not like, a gobby sod. I'll talk to you. If you're quiet, I'll go out my way to talk to you, and I'll try and bring you out your shell. And we end up coming off the course and having a bit of a laugh. I play with these civil engineers a few times a year, and I played with some guys last year, and it was very, very watching your P's and Q's, and I'm not about that, you know. If you want to swear on the course, you swear, because it's part and parcel of the game. I enjoy that because it gets your frustrations out so you don't hold it in. And we came off the course, the first 3 or 4 holes with these guys, they were very kind of like, you know, not standoffish, but very wary, shall we say, that they were playing with a lady, and they'd not played in this format with a lady before. And I swore, broke the ice, we had such a laugh, and we came off the course, off the 18 holes, and one of them said to me that he's had the best round of golf ever. And he says you're mad as a box of frogs, but you're very endearing. I was like, I need to look up what that means. So I did, and I was like, okay, I'll take that, okay, that's nice. So I am all about meeting people and just having a laugh, having a crack. And the more you relax and enjoy yourself, the better you play golf. And even if you hit a duff shot, just laugh it off. And that's what I most enjoy, just having such a laugh on the golf course. I love it. Love it. I love it, me. Top dog. This is a really interesting one, actually. It said, here in Germany, we need to pass a practice and theory test before we can play on the course, then start on a handicap of 54. Personally, I think this is a good thing for new players because they learn the basics, swing, putting, chipping, etc. and the rules. What do I think? I think that's a cracking idea. Because certainly I would have benefited from that to start with. But it might put some people off, I suppose, if they think, oh God, I've got like almost go back to school and learn all these things before I can get on a golf course. And I suppose that they might think, well, I might not enjoy it, so I don't even know if I want to do it. And they might think, well, I'm not going to bother. So I suppose it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's good to get, I mean, I would have benefited massively to get the basics of learning the rules and learning a bit of chipping and putting and swinging and whatever. That probably, I mean, I might have been better a long time ago rather than where I am now. So I do think it's a really, really good idea, and maybe it's something that we should think of over here, having some sort of basic inception into golf before they let you out to tear up the course. Mate, I'm not saying you're not going to tear up the course anyway, because I still do, even with a handicap of 28. And I'm sure people with lower handicaps will still tear up the course. But I do think that's a really, really good, a good initiative that maybe they should think about over here. How do we go about doing that? Maybe it's contact the R&A or England Golf. I don't know. Maybe something to look into there. Paul Jackson Golf. What's your average distance off the tee with a driver? I did actually look at this today. So my average is around about 190. Probably at the minute where it's cold, it's probably about 170, maybe it's 180. My longest drive I've ever hit is 246 yards. That must have been a downhill one with a bit of roll. But again, now I'm hitting the ball better once the summer comes, because my swing's improved. I'm hopeful that I'm going to get a lot more distance on the drivers. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Quite pleased with that. Bloody Lovely Golf. He's asked, do you use a trigger word before you swing? No, I don't. I did subconsciously think about this today while I was out, and I don't use a trigger word, but I seem to poke my tongue out. I do like Josh does, and I think I've always done it where if I've hit a good shot, I've got my tongue out like that, and if I've not hit a good shot, I've not got my tongue out. So maybe that's a subconscious thing for me. I stick my tongue out when I'm going to hit a good shot. I don't know, but I certainly don't knowingly say anything in my head or do anything in my head. Maybe there's something to think about. Once I've done all my internal checks, set up, have I got my hands right, am I stood right, am I right distance away, maybe that's right, go. Or find some sort of trigger word. Maybe something to look into that. I'll let you know how it goes. Steve Bagshaw, what's your view on gender neutral tees? I think it's a fantastic idea. I don't see why, just because I've not got a penis, I should have a different tee to everyone else, and that's being honest. Some women might not like that, but it's all about your ability. If you've got the ability to hit the ball, I know gents will hit further, but if you've got a 400-yard par 4, yeah, a gent might hit 250-yard drive, and then he'll take 7 iron to get on the green in 2. There's nothing to stop a lady from hitting 200 yards off a tee or something, and then taking a 3-wood to hit about 180, and then you're just off the green. It's all about club selection in my head. So if you haven't seen, I did start a vlog on 3 tees, 3 balls, I think it's called. So I'm going to redo it. So basically, I am because that first one went just horribly wrong. So I'm doing a test of taking a ball off the white tee, the yellow tee and the red tee over 3 holes and seeing if I get any different results. So if I can par or get the same score from each tee, that shows you it's down to club selection, it's not down to where the tee position is. So I think, Steve, it's a fantastic idea and I would fully support that if I was to bring that in. I think you should change the tees, and the distance from the green should be based on your handicap. The higher handicappers, because you can't hit as far, or because you're still new to sport, maybe they should be closer, like they do abroad. And the lower handicaps, because you're better at the sport and you hit further, have your tees further to the back, regardless of your gender. Michael Brooks, he said, is your handicap correct? No sarcasm intended. As for me, I have no handicap. So how many shots would you give me if we were to have a game? Well, 2 years ago, before they brought in the new handicap system where it went up to 54, gents were capped at 28. So going by that system, if you haven't got a handicap, you would probably start on 28. However, on the new handicap, I don't think anyone in their right mind would probably give you 54, because basically 3 shots a hole. So what I would do in that situation is I would hope that you were being honest and ask what you normally shoot, as in on a par 72. If you normally play a par 72, do you normally shoot 100? Do you normally shoot 110? What, get an average of what you score and give you a handicap based on that. Now my handicap was 28, which would indicate that I go round in 100. Well, that's a lie. It's a big fat silly lie. I've twice gone round in 100. The rest of it's around about 104, 105. Today it was 109 because there was a few duff shots and out of bounds. So I think I've played to my handicap twice, if that's anything to go by. So I think if I was to play you in a game, I would. Worst case, it depends how long you've been playing as well, because you get some people that have been playing like 20 years and they ain't got a handicap because they refuse to play club memberships. Now they could be playing off, if they had one, something like 6, 5, I don't know. But so I wouldn't expect to give somebody that's been playing for a long time a high handicap for a match. So it was a case of I would assess you on your honesty of what you normally play. If you're a brand new player, you've never picked up a club before, then I'll probably say, yeah, okay, we'll give you 3 shots a hole and we'll go from there. But I certainly wouldn't if you've been playing for a while. Is that fair? I don't know. Is that a fair way to look at it? Comment below, let me know what you think. This is a fantastic question from Steve. Steve Serples. I hope I said your surname right. Has the added pressure of playing in front of the camera improved or hindered your golf, i.e. your handicap? But my handicap's not changed much, as I say, I don't really play to it anyway. The first few times I did go out on the camera, I must admit, I don't think I played as well as I normally do, because it's that, if I hit a duff shot, they're going to see. And I know they're not going to see because you can edit it out, but it's that something's watching me. It's like if you're playing in a society or something and you're first one to tee off, it's that pressure of, oh my god, people are watching me. And I did get it to start with, and I've now eased up a lot. I don't normally, I very rarely get nervous in front of the camera now when I'm teeing off. It's just, I tend to talk as I'm getting ready to tee off, so I'm still jabbering away to the camera. And I think that kind of relaxes me because I'm jabbering away. It's almost like I'm talking to somebody, and then I shut up and go. But it's just they're not talking back. Does that make sense? So it's not, the pressure's gone now, or it's certainly a lot easier than it was. I'm sure he sent another one actually. Oh yes, yeah. But we'll ask Steve's other one. I know how Neil and yourself both enjoy a game, but how are Neil's feelings towards being filmed during the game? He comes across a little shy when the camera's pointed at him. Does it put him off, or does he really embrace it? I did ask him about this. So he's coming across a little shy. He's not showing much shy. It's more he doesn't want to be there. He does not want to be on camera at all. So every time I point at his face, I can almost feel, you can almost see through the camera, get that effing thing out of my face. I don't want to be on it. But he's softened to it now. So if I'm filming us doing like I've not really done it for a while since we've been on holiday, but like a 3-hole challenge, and we're filming, teeing off and everything, he gets frustrated with me then, because I'm like, don't take your shot yet, and he set the camera up and he's like, for God's sake, I want to take my shot, I need to go. So he does get frustrated with me then. If we're doing a little challenge round the green or something, he doesn't mind so much then. Because the camera's there and then we're just doing the talking bit and the camera's not being touched. It's only when I have to move the camera that it gets a bit irritated, a bit antsy with me. But then of course I get narky with him as well, so it's just a mess. And I'm like, what are you being so Marley for? He's like, I'm not being Marley. It just all goes wrong from there. So yeah, he is getting easy with it, and he is starting to kind of interact with the camera more. You'll see if I'm doing a chip or something, he'll say, oh, she's checking whatever club she's taking. So he is starting to warm to the camera, but he still does not want to be on the camera. So I hope that answers your question. Next time you watch something with us, watch his face and his reactions. You'll kind of see now it's less shy and more go away. Which obviously makes me worse and makes me do it all the more. My belt have asked, do I wear belts for golf, and if so, how wide? Just doing some research to add more custom fit options to my product. So yes, I do tend to wear belts, but only if I'm wearing trousers that have got a buckle, the buckle loops. So I've got one that's about 1.5 inches, I think it is, because it fits into the loops. So I would only really wear a belt if it fitted into the loops of the trousers. All my skirts and my shorts don't have belt loops. I don't wear belts with those, only with my trousers. But I would say about 1.5 inches. And it's that woven fabric as well, so you can kind of change the length of the belt without having the holes in it. Just like a grippy teeth thing. Who's this? Ant Fieldhouse. Are you really excited about starting the Beauty and the Beast series again? And is Ant as cool as he appears on camera? Really? Really? So Robbie asked earlier about it. Yeah, I'm really excited about starting up again, because we had a right laugh on the course. I think it was a bit mean of people to say that I'm a little bit brutal with my banter. And because, no. Just tell it like it is, you know. And is Ant as cool as he appears? Well, I think we'll just leave that one there. I'm only kidding. I suppose he is as cool as he appears on camera. But I don't see, because I don't really see, I can see the other side of you behind the camera, so I don't really need to see, I don't know how people see you on camera. You know. Do you think he looks cool on camera? Don't answer that. Be nice. So we have a question from Nick Fewings, which says, who is the best putter you've played with? Now, it's quite a tricky question, this, because when under pressure, Neil can putt quite well. If it's for a match or something, it's been known to pull it out of the bag and sink one in when it really matters. So he's not too bad. There's a lady that I play with. She's going to be lady captain this year, Lizzie. She's not a bad putter. I'm guessing by the question that the potential for Nick to be quite a good putter. I know I've played with him. Ant Fieldhouse seems to think that he's the best putter I've played with. Really? I'm kidding. In all honesty, I don't think, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to anyone that I've played with, I don't think I've played with anyone that's an exceptional putter, where they can sink every putt, you know, on the first go. But likewise, I don't think I've played with anyone that's been terrible. So I think everyone that I've played with has been of a good level. So I don't think don't think I can answer your question, Nick, or have I answered your question? Because nobody stands out as exceptional or better than anyone else, if that makes sense. There's no one that I can think back and say, Christ, I wish I could put like them. There's none of that. So, but as I say, there's no one that's been awful, apart from me sometimes. But you know. So I hope that kind of answers it a little bit for you. Maybe ask me again in 12 months' time, so that, you know, there might be a few more people. We'll see you on the Ryder Cup. So we've now got one from Kev Casper, who says, what's your favourite club in your bag? You'll love this. This is my favourite club in my bag. You like that? You like that? And yes, the mint ones. Can't have any other ones. No, so on a serious note, what's the best club in my bag? It used to be... I go through phases, to be fair. I always like my driver. My driver is probably my all-time favourite, because no matter what other clubs I like at the time, I still love my driver. 9 times out of 10, I'll smash it. Other clubs, I do go through phases. So I've always liked my 3-wood, but last couple of times I've not been hitting that very well, I must admit. Not like I have done in the past. So I went through a phase of my 6 hybrid, that was quite good. But since I've changed to the John Letters hybrid, if you've seen my previous vlog on the hybrids, I've taken the TaylorMade out and put the John Letters one in. And since then, that's actually a really, really good club. It may not go a massive distance, but it's cold at the minute, so it's not gonna. I'm not getting a run on it. But striking it perfect striking, and it goes really straight as well. So I think for consistency at the minute, my 4 hybrid is going to be the best one after my driver. I do like my driver. What's your favourite club in your bag? Anyone want to answer? In fact, we're nearly there for the question. I think we've got one final question, if I can find it, from Big Wayne Ross, who is Team Blue captain. Boo, boo, Team Blue, Team Red all the way. So he's asked, do you think lady golfers should be fitted for normal clubs instead of being pigeonholed with lady shafts and clubs that are not suitable for above average swings? That is an excellent question, and I think it's more appropriate now. I'm starting to swing a lot better, so I think they should be fitted for they should be tried and tested for a full range. If you go for a fitting, you should be tried for a full range of shafts, dependent on your swing, and it should become apparent in your stats of swing speed, etc., which type of shaft is best for you. When I got my clubs, probably about 2 years ago in March, I think it was, when I went to get mine, they only showed me, I only tested lady shafts. I think I tested like TaylorMade, Cobra and Callaway. I think that's all the ones that the shop had in. So I tried all the lady shafts of those and ended up with the TaylorMades. However, it's become apparent in my recent lessons and recent vlog with the hybrid that my swing speed and my swing style would suit something more robust and something a little bit stiffer. So I think I need a senior shaft or a senior flex or a regular flex. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to be in the market to be getting this year at least. There's no way I can afford to be shelling out for a full new set of clubs at the minute. But I was obviously pigeonholed for lady shafts. So Wayne, I fully agree with you. I think ladies should be offered the choice of a wide variety of shafts. So I hope that answered your question. So that, ladies and gents, is all the questions, and I think you'll agree there's been quite a wide range and wide variety of questions there. Better than the last lot anyway. But at least there's no tiara this time, Graham. But it's coming for you, don't you worry. Graham GMAT Golf is Graham. He loves the tiara. So yeah, next time I'll put the tiara on just for you, Graham. Unless, of course, I lose it between now and then. You never know. So I will call it a day there. I hope you enjoyed all the questions. I hope I've answered all your questions. And
maybe in another 6 months' time, we'll do another Q&A and see how things have changed, see how things have moved on. And yeah, I've really enjoyed that actually. Thanks for all your questions. I've really enjoyed that. So I'll bid you a fond farewell. Cheers. And I'm going to go and eat my club. Thanks a lot. Catch you later. Bye.